Hi, everyone. My name is Tyler Geip. I'm the college advisor at Mooresville High School, and I wanted to make this brief presentation about college admissions during COVID because college admissions is a complicated subject in a normal year, let alone this year. Here are some of the most frequently asked questions I get about what you should and shouldn't be concerned about as far as college admissions go. The first question I get is, my grades are low due to online learning. Will colleges take this into consideration? Unless you have extreme circumstances, the answer is they most likely will not take this into consideration, at least in a way that benefits you. Students are always compared against other students when an application is under review, and some students have fared very well learning virtually. Unfortunately, a student who hasn't fared well is going to be compared against that student. Another question I get is, will colleges be test optional this year? As many of you know, the North Carolina system and most of the schools in the United States have gone test optional this year, which means that they do not require the SAT or ACT. Whether that's still going to be the case next year, we don't know. Not even the colleges know. I think everyone is waiting to see whether testing is going to be widely available this spring and summer. If it is, then most likely testing the SAT or the ACT is going to be required for college admissions again. So take the tests and be prepared for it to be a requirement. Another question I get is community college a good option during the pandemic? Of course, this is a very personal decision based on what a student wants and needs out of a college experience and what their career goals are. However, many students are choosing to go to a 2-year school and later transferring into a 4-year school. That is a completely viable option and a great option for many students. If you want to talk about whether that's a good option for you, definitely reach out and we can sort of figure that out. Another question is, I can't do extracurriculars during COVID. Will this hurt my application? It's sort of the same thing with grades in that many students are maintaining and finding extracurriculars during the pandemic. And students who aren't are going to be compared against those students. Of course, a lot of sports hasn't been able to happen during the pandemic and other sort of more physical extracurriculars. And if you fall into that category, find an extracurricular, whether it be a new one or an old one, that you can continue during the pandemic. And in any case, use this time productively. Spend your time doing something that you can put on the application so that you do not have, a year-long blank space where you did nothing. The last question is, I was seriously affected by COVID. Will colleges take this into consideration? So everything I said in this video may lead you to believe that colleges are brutal. And in many cases they are. However, if a student was seriously affected by COVID, if they had a worse pandemic experience than everyone else, there is a space on the Common Application, which is the platform you'll use to apply to colleges, where students can indicate that. There's always a space to indicate, something that happened during your high school career that has affected your application in normal years and this year, especially in regards to COVID. If your application has been adversely affected because you had a horrible time, definitely indicate that. Colleges will take that into consideration. If you've had someone close to you die or you yourself were extremely sick, use that space to explain why your application isn't as good as it can be, and colleges will take that into consideration. Here's my contact information, my email, and I'm always available for meeting at calendly.com/tguide.